morning, everybody. So I just freaked out my husband when I went to turn the volume off. I turned off the GPS too, and we had a mini panic in the vehicle because he informed me that he does not know where he's at in Tampa, and I should not be playing with his buttons. So guys, welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. My name is Samantha, and I will be walking you through the fact that I am beginning to believe that the biggest threat to America at this moment in time is not an external threat. Russia's not a threat to America. The faux Ukrainian war is not a threat to America, but a civil war within is definitely on the books. What do I mean by that? If you have followed me or any other social media content creators in the last few months, you know about the red lipstick movement. You know about the blue bracelet movement. You know about cute winter boots. The signs are out there that people from the left, the liberal-minded, indoctrinated, fascist, usually younger, some older, they should know better, but some older people are on this let's bring America down, which we always knew that's what they wanted. That was their intention. It's what their policies were promoting. It's what their ideology requires of them. You hear people saying that diversity and inclusion is our strong point, but it's not, folks. And history has proved time and time again that when you group up a bunch of people that, one, can't communicate because a language barrier, two, have totally different belief systems. Let me give you an example. Would you be able to get along with people living in your community that believed an 11-year-old child could be married to a 60-year-old man and there isn't anything you can say about it? Anybody? Anybody down with that in America?
Not me.
What exactly? What about children at the age of 10 and 11 being home alone, caring for 5 or 6 younger children, cooking breakfast for them, dressing them, putting them on the school bus? There isn't a person listening to me right now that would be okay with that in this day and age in America. We simply aren't okay with it. That is something that happened in our country 60 years ago. It's something that happens in third world countries where people have children to help work a farm or bring in income to a family. In other words, the cultures don't mesh well. For many, many years of America's life, our country's history, there were bans or limits on specific countries sending migrants to this country. The reason that wasn't racism. It was to allow people time to integrate into America. It was to stop large groups of migrants, 5,000, 15,000, 100,000, moving to the same area and recreating their country within America. So right now, all across our country, in every single state, and every single major city and all rural areas, you have illegal, undocumented migrants. All right. So first off, those people aren't exactly going to be your upstanding citizens, right? They're basically hiding. They're not going to defend America. They're not going to help stop an invasion from the exterior or from the interior. In fact, they're going to do whatever the cartel that got them here told them to do. If you haven't heard, we were demonetized because the content that we put out may be harmful to some viewers. So if you would like to support common sense if you would like to support independent journalism, if you would like to support two Christians sober for 5 years and rocking it every day, we'll drop in comments the different ways that you can donate to our platform. We would be so grateful. We've got about 58 days before we can reapply for the partnership program. But right now, I think we may be closer than we ever have been before. And you always have to look backwards to understand what has happened in history, to get an idea of what's fixing to happen in the future, because what? History repeats itself. So when you look at Rome did not fall from an exterior threat. Rome fell from an interior threat. And when I ran across a video I'm fixing to play for you guys, I knew in my heart, this is what I too have also been feeling. I'm a 70s baby, and for most of us, we grew up with something called the Encyclopedia Britannica. And we grew up with those in our homes. I grew up every year getting a science book. I grew up being able to flip through and read things like the National Geographic. Those things were available to me in my home because my parents thought it was so important to take me to every museum and our country's capital multiple times growing up. I grew up with a very strong sense of what it was to actually be an American. Until sometime around 2017 that I actually realized there were people being taught to hate my country by my country's tax dollars. Now, what has happened is since about the year 2000, we have been allowing a lot of migrants from other countries that hate America to come to America and live the American dream. And folks, it is literally fixing to bite us in our proverbial you-know-whats. So, I'm going to show you a quick clip. This is a guy that runs a channel from the United Kingdom. I'll tell you who he is after the
Media
clip.
didn't even cover it. But given the ominous nature of what this man is predicting, it behooves us all to sit up and take notice.
The main threat to the security and prosperity of the West generally, and the UK specifically now, is civil war, not external war.
Okay, that got my attention. Professor David Betts, who has advised both the UK and US governments, explains the primary factor in fostering conditions for mass unrest in the UK.
Multiculturalism was a disaster for the country, that it was leading to a society that was ghettoized.
And that thanks to open borders, the state is destroying its own legitimacy.
The major problem of government is this destruction of legitimacy.
In addition to the grooming gang outrage.
More importantly, and much more corrosively, are the industrial rape gang revelations, which are ongoing, that have had the effect, which will increase and become even more apparent, of draining out whatever residual social capital existed.
Which has strong historical parallels.
There's even echoes, I think. I mean, I'm surprised that we don't hear a lot more about the Boudiccan revolt.
Can I spell it out for non-British listeners? That
Sure.
Boudicca's daughters were raped by Roman soldiers. And this was the precipitating event.
From his exhaustive studies, Betts concludes that diversity is definitively not our greatest strength.
British society is fundamentally explosively configured. Multiculturalism has drained the nation's social capital. It's encouraged factionalism and polarization, both of which are up massively, as a result of which we see that nativist sentiments are increasingly manifested in a narrative of downgrading or displacement that is one of the most powerful causes of civil conflict. Mm-hmm. The recent headlines surrounding the rape gangs or the murders of children, terrorism and the like feed this narrative of downgrading absolutely perfectly. They align with that idea.
And could actually be the catalyst for
Joseph Watson. He's got a little over 2 million subscribers, does great content. Folks, listen to me. We have imported and we have allowed the United Nations, the World Economic Forum, and a whole bunch of NGOs, non-governmental organizations, to flood our countries with fighting age men. Now we see the Ukraine war, the faux war, is getting people upset. What do the liberals want? They want us to send money. They want us to send bodies. And if we do it, like the United Kingdom's going to do it, send your fighting age men and women over to the Ukraine. Who does that leave to protect the inside of their countries while they're gone? Mark my words. If the United Kingdom does not begin mass deportations within the next 2 years, in 20 years' time, by 2045, America's biggest threat will be the EU. Every country over there. It will be Muslim countries, Muslim run, Sharia law fed. The British people will be no more. The entire culture will be gone. And you'll never hear the left say a word. Why? Because it's a mainly white. It's a Western culture. And even for the black people that live in Europe, that call Europe home, your entire culture is going to be gone. So America, listen to me. If we do not back Trump, support Trump, and encourage him to deport, this is what America, it's going to happen to America, folks. And I don't know about you, but if you want to come to my country that I love so much, then you need to come the correct way. Because my daughter is heartbroken right now that there's nothing available for her while she's in college. Nothing. But if she was an illegal alien, she'd be getting it all for free. Make that make sense. My son leaves in less than a month to spend a year abroad in the U.S. military. My children are fighting for this country. My family always has. So, as their mother, I will do my part to raise awareness to what is happening in this country. So God bless America. We love you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe.